What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of Tavern Talk. Fly, suck it. I knew you were going to do that, which is why I removed it. Guys, welcome to episode 2 or 3 of Tavern Talk. We're going to talk about Ashen wins, ? And whether or not we're going to have it sooner than later. Again, we have Tech and Jay. Tech and Jay, where can they find you guys?
Jay, you first.
Twitch.tv/UltimateJ and on Twitter at _UltimateJ.
And I am at twitch.tv/TechNerdA and Twitter at TechNerdA.
TechNerdA, spelled in EA, chat, not letter A.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about, we kind of want to start it off. I wrote a few things down. We kind of try to figure out where we wanted to. So I think first we're going to kind of recap and summarize our feeling on the ghostly encounter that we've had to deal with for the last month. And as many of you guys may know, especially me and Jay, we've been, where are the hats? Dang it, dude. We've been hoarding loot basically every day, farming it every day. So we kind of have a strong opinion on, maybe not a strong opinion, but we've done it a lot. So we kind of are at a point now where we've done a lot and we're burned out. So we kind of want to summarize. So for me, I'm going to just start off like, I still want to just make it like clear that I feel like it's very dull. It's like mind numbing. I don't know. I just can't get over the fact that it's just literally boats driving at 3 miles per hour going in a circle. It's like drives me nuts.
I mean, we've done it so many times. It's just pattern at this point, right?
It is. Yeah.
The first time we did it, I had fun. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun when I had no idea what to do. But we've done it. We've defeated them at least 50 times by now, if not 100.
50 times, dude. Get out of here. That's like a low ball, dude. Jesus.
It's 5 times a day at least.
Dude, 5 times a day. We've been doing it for, we've been doing it for at least the last 3 weeks.
I was gonna say when it's a challenge, it was fun for sure, absolutely. But if it's numbing, if it becomes a habit and it's predictive and whatever, it's got to get boring and dull, like you said.
But yeah, I think for me, and we kind of discussed this before we went live, but nobody wants to do it, and it's like it also kind of makes it that more dull, is because I don't know why people are so afraid of it. Like we can literally sit and be in a server the entire time and not have, very rare. Maybe we'll have a boat doing it before us or a boat be interested in it while we're doing it, but that's like seriously like once or twice a week if we have another player engage on us.
For sure. And I was thinking as well before we started, it just may be bad timing for this event to be in once they start infusing like 3.3 million new or 5 whatever million new.
Yeah, 3.3. Just that was in July June.
Yeah,
June alone was
players that don't even know how to steer the boat, let alone get into a PvP battle. So they're obviously going to be afraid of that activity. But if there was more people that were confident in filling these servers with PvP stuff along with the flame fart, it would I think it would add that layer that you guys are looking for, probably, as well as other people in the servers.
Yeah, and doing this activity, every time we do it and people come into chat seeing us fight them, I don't think I've ever seen anyone say, "Oh yeah, you guys are doing it the same way I do it." We always have people try and give us different pointers on how to do it, which is exactly the opposite of what we're doing, or ask for pointers because they can't do it.
Yeah, it's so common to have people come in like, "I've learned a lot from doing this," like, or a couple days ago or maybe last week when I was on the sloop and I was just showing people that it's possible to do, because I find that people just don't have the confidence to do it. And like the activity, like every activity in this game is more based around having a crew with you. So if you're on a sloop, having 2 is obviously easier than having 1, for every other ship, brig, galleon, same thing. But I find that people lose their confidence when they're solo. Like that's why I think like if you're solo, typically like the majority of the time you play, you're solo, you lose interest in PvP because you're just like, you're solo, and every time you go against someone, they have a teammate, and it just makes it more difficult. And then I feel like with this, there's, you have 10 ships going in a circle and you're like, I can't fight it. They're, all over. They're shooting like these wraith cannons and, setting the boat on fire. And I'm a solo sloop. But how do I do this? And it just, I find that like people just don't have like sort of lack the confidence in themselves to understand that like the activity is predictable. Like it goes in a circle. Yes, they go in different directions, but it's still a circle. You just kind of have to manage the boat, And again, like we talked about it earlier, if I think in my perspective, if you're afraid of sinking, turn the loot in each round if you really want to. The boss will still be there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a huge disadvantage to like players like us that we've been farming this activity, and people are just so lacking the confidence to just even try it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think overall, but I did like the update in the beginning, and obviously as we've been farming it every day, I still enjoy it. I still have fun because I love collecting all the loot. But the activity itself is pretty. So I guess I want to ask chat really quick, because a lot of people have are part of our community and see us play it every day and watch the encounter. What do you guys think from a viewer standpoint? What do you guys think when you're watching, let's say, Jay and I farm the fleets all day? Because I don't know if we've ever asked that question. Because, like, I mean, is it interesting to watch? Is it more for the event, or is it for the boat being filled with loot and then seeing what happens throughout that? But
I always think it's great for everyone watching to see that boat filled with loot, which is why every day I'm like, okay, I don't want to decorate this boat. But I can't just leave it in piles because then no one can see how much we have.
True.
Yes, the decorating, kind of making it stand out. I think that's might be one of the lures to being in the stream watching it. And also, I think it adds that tiered. I don't want to say anxiety, but tiered like complexity to like getting into a PvP. So you're constantly wondering if Z and Jay and Jor are going to be getting into this brig that's driving by, and if they're going to sink. And I think the more loot that gets piled in, the more exciting it gets. So
right,
in my eyes, it's
yeah, the potential to lose it is always exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets like the tight booty hole aspect, nerve-wracking. So I don't know. I think like overall I like the update. But obviously, as servers stay on longer, I feel like we've been having issues, which kind of entails what's happening with Ashen Wind, possibly. Yeah. I think overall, what would you guys say, like, for this update? Did you guys, Tech, have you played a lot of it since, like, because I know you've been playing a lot of Destiny, so, like, have you kind of really done the fleet and kind of, like, do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I've I think I've played my fair share of it. And I enjoy it. I do, and I think depending on we can't all have a Jay and a Jor on our team, right? So depending on what randoms I get or who's getting in in my crew, and not to say I'm the best player, but even when we're having a tough time just because we're not managing things right or we're not getting in the right direction, it makes it fun too. So it still has that lure to me just because it's not clockwork. And I guess it's like with everything you guys work in day out. It's almost like you're a part of a esports team at this point because you got everything planned out for the most part. This person's on this duty. Jor might touch the wheel every 3 hours, and then that's it. But yeah, I think and the thing is too, if you get a good group of people and you just annihilate that thing, that makes it feel that much better. Because it doesn't happen that much for people that don't have a consistent crew. So I don't mind it at the moment. But yeah, like I said before, I think I can definitely see it being.
I could see it from your perspective. Like, we are like a well-oiled machine right now, so like we just go through these events like it's nothing. But it could be like for that perspective, like when back in Destiny doing viewer raids, every raid you'd have new players come in, and it was like you had to teach the encounter, you had to like tell them what to do and kind of coach them on doing it, so it makes the encounter interesting every time you do it. You know, with Jay and Jor, like we just fly through these encounters, and it's just like, okay, on to the next. What's spawning in next? So yeah, I guess that could like also hinder our perspective on it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. I really liked the emissary update previously. I like this one. I don't know what's happening and why it's all of a sudden I feel like we've been seeing a lot more emissaries lately. But that's, I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I wish people would gain. Guys, you can do the encounter. I promise you can do the encounter.
And it might be the new players getting that, you know, the gist of emissaries and what they are, and also getting that confidence, like, excuse me, getting that Reaper up and saying, hey, come get me. You know, I think I'm ready for you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the first thing I kind of want to bring up. So if you guys haven't watched the weekly news video from Sea of Thieves, Joni talks about hit reg again. They have a dedicated team directed specifically for hit reg. Obviously, I think unfortunately this is going to be a constant thing that they have to work on. Especially with the water. Water is for this game is so unique. So I think it just makes it hard. Then they talked about damage dealt and mainly focused on removing wall bang, so you can't shoot through the. So they talked about shooting. Can you not sword swing through walls?
I don't remember the way they worded it.
Because
I think I remember at one point they said something about talking about being able to sword someone off the ladder, like through the wall.
Damage through ships has been stopped is the terminology I believe they used. So
just straight
damage.
up like anything through the wall besides cannons, probably.
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's PvP or like person versus person, I
Yeah.
guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I guess cannons still technically it would go through the wall just because it makes a hole, right?
Right. So I would assume just cannons are the only thing that can work through the wall. The lunge works through the wall, but are we sure though? Unless I don't know. So now you got to be careful because if there's anything within insiders, you got to be careful. You can't NDA. You can't really share anything. But I would assume the sword lunge or any sword damage through walls probably doesn't work. And if it does, they'll probably be addressed.
Yeah.
And
I kind of like that update that they're making for it, just because, I mean, realistically, yeah, bullets will go through wood, but it's just not something most people would think about, right? It's not gonna make a hole, so you wouldn't think you should be able to shoot through it, especially when there's other things like crates that you can't shoot through.
Yeah.
Like, why can you shoot through walls?
Yeah. So girls in chat talking about like I've seen sword lunges through inside the sloop cabin and kills. Yeah, this is currently in this update, but the next update they're removing damage through the boat from player versus player, not like boats for boats. So like you most likely will not be able to sword lunge through the cabin, like through a wall. You're not going to be able to like sword swing underneath the anchor like I used to, like to make them drop the anchor. That stuff will probably be addressed. And then so they talked about the brand new encounter. They didn't give it a name, did they? I don't think they gave it a name.
I'm not sure.
I don't think they gave it a name. So if you know it, don't say it because I don't think they gave a name. Then they talk about they give like no details of the event. And then they talk about the Ashen Wind Skull, which we've all seen in the video. It's a flamethrower. I don't know how I feel about that.
More fire.
Yeah, more fire. So I guess like I already know my feelings on it, but like, do you find a flamethrower skull useful? Either you guys.
I don't think we will. But we already go into encounters as saying fire is useless.
Right.
But at the same time, everyone we go up against, that's their first thought is fire.
Yeah.
So
or dropping stuff off the side of the boat.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so I think most people will get use out of it. Because
Yeah.
most people, that's their first thought. They love the fire.
Yeah, they think that, you know, fire is going to be an instant thing that you're going to be afraid to run through, and it's going to be once you're engulfed, you're in panic mode. If you're not if you're a seasoned veteran to fire, you have a better way of handling when you're engulfed in flames, or your ship's getting burnt on the canopy or whatever. So yeah, I and as far as what the skull, if we think it'll be useful, I wonder. I was wondering when I was reading the article if it would be good for like a fort of the damned, or just a fort in general. Like if you can just run through it and just light all of these skeletons on fire and run away and just let them just die to fire. If that could be a quick way to quickly farm, fort after fort, is just to burn them all up instead of having to shoot them twice and swing at them.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I could see it being useful. For the dam's still tricky because like you still gotta get the shadow,
light. Yeah.
But I could still see it kind of being useful for some PvE.
Yeah, and that might be good, like for the skeletons and stuff. But
Maybe
as far as
that's
PvP.
Maybe that's their direction with it. Maybe it's more or less meant to be like a PvE weapon.
And I wonder how much that thing's gonna be worth if it's gonna.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah, it's like, so if you guys in here, you can turn in the skull, or you can use it as a weapon. If you sell it early, so basically without using it, it's worth more gold, or rep, or I'm assuming gold. But if you use it as a weapon and then sell it later, it'll be worth less gold. So I'm curious, like, is it going to be worth even to sell early? Like, let's say it's worth like a ton without using it. Are people just gonna turn them in? Or if it's not worth a lot, you might as well use it. I'm kind of curious.
Exactly. And how much does it degrade?
Yeah, like, I mean, if it's worth like $5,000 gold, and then you use the whole thing and it's like out. And also they didn't talk about like ammo capacity. Like,
I was gonna say, what's the whole thing? What's considered the propane tank? You pour hot water on it to see how much left's in the tank.
If it's worth, like you said, if it's worth $5,000, and you know that that's going to degrade in value, but you don't know how much, what, like, do you think you would use it knowing you're not going to know? Like, the only way to find out is testing. Like, are you going to test the first time just like because you're curious, or you're like, I kind of want the value?
I would
see them turning it in.
Yeah, I would turn it in first to see what the total value is. And if it's like $5,000, then I don't care. But that's from my perspective because I almost have 14 million gold.
Right.
So like, to me, that's not going to do me anything.
What if
How can it be 5?
If it's worth 25, then I'm turning it in every time. I'm just keeping that on the boat, and we're doing loot giveaways with that too.
Yeah, because how like, so if you turn in a
weird
a chest and it's like 1,300, like how can this one be 5, or is it really that common? Like, is it as common as a captain's chest, or is it as common as a Athena?
I wonder too, like, the only real like few items in the game that have like specific amounts of like rep and gold are like the Reaper chests and the gems. At least that's all I can think of. Everything else is kind of varied throughout. So like, would it be it's always worth this every time? Or could you get like RNG and have one that's worth like 100K? So like now, like in my mind, I'm like, I'm always turning them in.
Yeah.
Or like if it could vary in like an extreme price, then I'm potentially always turning it in without using it.
I feel like they can't do that though, just because then no one would use it.
Right.
Once they find that out.
So it's probably going to end up being something like a Reaper's chest or a gem where it's always the same price every time.
Yeah.
I hope it's worth a lot, and I hope it's worth to use, so you can pick your poison on what you want to do. Do you want to use it and have fun with it, or do you want to sell it because you need the gold?
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
That's what I've heard. I haven't used it, so I must have lost it. All right, so and then the next thing the final thing they talked about in the weekly news update was the accessibilities. So they have a single stick mode. So this is so honestly, like, this is cool. Like, I'm always down for them to help more people play. They have single stick mode, And then they have auto float, which earlier in this week, like since I've seen this video, I didn't know what that meant really. Like really people need auto float. And then you watch the video and he kind of says, you know, water, what was it?
Fear of drowning. Or
Yeah,
something.
I forgot. He's used an actual like definition for it. Phobia of the water, or something like that. Phobia of the deep water, something like that. And I could see that being useful. Like let's say people just get panicky in the deep water. Who knows? And then it has the camera flicks to center. So basically, what they're adding where if you look up, and now I wonder how it's going to work on mouse and keyboard though. If you look up, it flicks back down to center. So you're always, and I'm assuming for any direction. Well, I guess if you're going left and right, you're probably center already. But for up and down, it's going to flick back to center. And I could see that being a little annoying. But I mean, if people need to use it, they need to use it. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything else, if they were gonna single that out, if there's any other like phobia or something that they could deal with. So I mean, besides flames and Devil's Roar, like that, I think obviously drowning.
I have phobia of Devil's Roar for sure, dude.
Oh yeah.
But no, I mean, like they added it for a reason, right? Like there wasn't just like we need auto float. Like that's a definite thing. Like that people requested that for a reason, and it probably was like maybe like a fear of drowning or like something like that, because that's added for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Nice that they're doing it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I think that's really useful, and the fact that I'm kind of curious how a single stick mode will work. Like, is it like aim and movement all at the same time?
I wonder if there's like if you push L2 or something like that,
switches.
Switch. Yeah, like
probably. Probably. Okay. And then these are just some stuff to talk about. People with issues that have hard time orienting in Wonder Art. Okay, so like it's more or less like I guess I get that. I get that for sure. I feel like with the auto float, it was definitely needed for a reason because people asked for it. And then so we kind of just we're going to talk about a little base news. We kind of brought it up a little bit. Sea of Thieves has been killing it recently since the Steam release. From the debut in March or May of 2018, they've had over 15 million players since the debut. June alone, they've had 3.3 million active players. And in the article, it kind of talks about like Steam has helped, but Rare's monthly updates have helped as well. I feel like the June 3.3 million players, as somebody that plays like 8 to 10 hours a day, I didn't necessarily feel like active servers all the time, but that's good to see. And then the monthly updates have helped. I think the monthly updates have helped less than the Steam has helped. I think the updates are great, but
so when they say the monthly updates have helped, I don't know if they're necessarily talking about the new monthly updates and what they are that's helping. Like I think the monthly updates that have existed in this game since it came out is a huge selling point for when it went to Steam.
Right. So just like monthly, yeah.
Yeah, people have heard that it's a monthly update, and they can look back and see what they are and see how much has been added since the game came out, and it's something
free.
That's worth getting. Yeah, it's like
free monthly updates. Yeah,
you buy the game once, and every month there's more to do. That's a huge selling point, which you don't see in many games. Usually, there's at some point you got to buy some sort of like expansion pass or a season pass or something.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I would also say though, with their monthly updates, which the next topic would be is about their Ashen Winds delayed. I also feel like with their monthly updates have also opened a can of worms. Every time they update, something breaks, and it just and then this isn't new, right? Like we've had updates where they've been delayed, but it gets to a point where like server issues are really common. The rep and gold issues have been really common lately. Hit reg is always an issue. So like, I don't really even take that out on them anymore. I just assume it's going to be an issue. So I don't know. I feel like overall, so like, in the update, they talk about it being delayed. Originally, it was actually scheduled for today, which a lot of us know. It was scheduled for today, delayed. They still have yet to determine whether it's, going to be dropped tomorrow. Everybody's speculating tomorrow, but they have not said anything. And then the reason why it was delayed is because there was server issues, which we all felt yesterday, where we basically had our own private server. And then Rep and Gold was not working as intended, which again, we experienced yesterday when we turned in probably about, I don't know if they ever actually got that loot either, by the way, like probably 800,000 gold. So I don't know. I feel like with their monthly updates, obviously it's a positive, but I feel like with your 3.3 million active players, yes, the content is awesome, but if I experience bad servers, I get deterred a lot easier. Like I can't play. I mean literally I just farmed 4 hours for loot and I can't turn it in for rep or gold, and then sometimes it counts and sometimes they have to give us just some random amount of gold and rep, and I don't know.
Did that happen because of like a mini update? How did that start happening, or was that just out of the blue?
I feel like it's typically towards the end of an update. Like towards the end of the month, there's always server issues.
I don't know what that would necessarily be.
Yeah.
I have noticed, it was probably a couple months ago, in one of the reasons why they gave that they were having issues, they said they were having problems with third-party software, which just made me think, like, they do have a small team over there at Rare.
Right. And they're working from home.
Up until that point, I had never heard them talk about using any type of third-party software in their game. And they, like, I forget the way they worded it, but it definitely made it sound like it's one of the features that's in their game that was made by someone else. It's not directly made by them. So I don't know if it's actually, like, if that's actually the case, but I'm starting to think that maybe they do go outside of Rare for some of these content updates, some of these things that we're seeing. And maybe that's why we're seeing so many more issues.
And as far as the issues go, I may have said that this before or something, I'm not sure, but I think coming from the technology standpoint, I think they handle issues and updates as well as I could expect. Not necessarily being in a development type of industry in the technology field, but from my standpoint, I think they do a pretty well job at it, or a good job at it. But I think I think something like Fortnite is maybe a bad example, but Fortnite is constantly trying to add crazy stuff and breaking things left and right. So if you want to contrast Fortnite to Sea of Thieves, I think they do a pretty decent job.
Yeah, for sure. And the size of their team. I mean, it's just, listen, I take everything with a grain of salt. Like, I mean, we've all been gamers probably our entire lives. Like this happens more frequently than not, but I don't hold it against them when servers are having issues, because, like, again, people are doing things that they haven't had to do before since this pandemic. People are working from home. People are being laid off. Like, it's just a different environment happening right now. People are bringing all of their equipment home. Like, there's just such a more element for error since everything's been happening. And I don't hold it against them if it was because of this too, because of everything that's been happening. And then, and then I kind of wrote down, like, the flamethrower again, and then, so this could potentially, this wasn't an article. This is knowledge that you could find, but I just want to give a heads up. If anybody's achievement hunters, there's 4 achievements that have been released. And if you don't want spoilers or anything like that, cover your ears for a second. I'll give you like a couple seconds if you're really worried about it. But these are 4 achievements that you can do, and these have been kind of shown before the release of Ashen Winds. So the first one, if you haven't closed your ears yet, so the first one is Hunter. So 4 achievements: Hunter of Captain Grimm, Hunter of Red Roth, Hunter of Old Horatio, and Hunter of Warden Shi, and you have to defeat him 5 times for achievements. So I'm curious. There's no details for those, absolutely none, but they're achievements that you can find. And my concern is Hunter of something. typically means I have to go on a quest for this person. Or, I mean, I guess maybe it could be RNG. You find the specific person. If you're an insider, you probably know some of the stuff, so you can't share it. But I hope that it's part of the activity that we have to do, and it's RNG on the boss that we fight, and each of those captains give us a specific skull that shoots fire, maybe, and it's different every time. I don't know. I'm just reaching. I'm reaching, dude. I don't know. I just don't want to do tall tales. I don't want to do 4 different tall tales 5 times to defeat something.
Now, is this gamer score something new or just something I've never dabbled into in the Sea of Thieves?
That's an Xbox thing.
Yeah, it's an Xbox thing. So like you get achievements. It's not like you don't get like it's not a commendation thing or anything. It's just an Xbox thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's like you're like a trophy hunter. Like you want to complete all the stuff in the game. Like not even just commendations. Like there's like trophies outside that too. So I mean there's no details for it. Can't weigh on this one specifically. Yeah. Do not weigh on it if you're on it. If you're an insider, you know the details, but you cannot share them NDA. So I don't know. I'm concerned because if you can't tell already, it's probably going to be in Devil's Roar, which I am not a fan of Devil's Roar already. And it's not because of the volcanoes. It has everything to do with just the aesthetics of the area. So that's concerning.
Well, when was the last time they did updates like this where there were different types of people to fight? Like they did that for forts when there was the new forts with the new bosses. Because there's like 4 different.
Yeah, the Duchess, Two-Face, and then
I don't know the names of them.
I know it's like Duchess, Two-Face, I think Two-Face Scoundrel, and then just like the normal.
Yeah.
Either way.
Also, the Festival of the Giving when you had to like dig gifts and there was
dig gifts.
Gifts for you. You're like, oh, leave those behind every time.
Yeah. Is this when gifts were introduced?
Festival of the Giving? It
Yeah.
was like a Christmas thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you had to steal some and then give some. Or no, did you have to steal? You didn't have to steal, did you?
You did have to steal.
You did have to steal.
Well, wait. It was, I forget how I remembered this exactly.
Was it just turn in or give? I feel like it was like turn in. You had to turn in a certain amount and then you had to give a certain amount.
Right. But stolen ones count as like if you had some stolen from you, it counts that you
as
gave
given.
them away.
Yeah.
Because what's the difference?
Oh yeah, the helmsman, that's right.
So I don't think I ever got the one for giving just because I never thought of giving him away. I got it for stealing easily.
I mean, I don't think I was a part of it during that time. So.
I think honestly around the time in which around that time and when the forts had introduced the new bosses like the Duchess and Two-Face, that was when the skulls were red, correct?
Yeah.
I think I was playing Destiny again at that point.
Okay.
And I remember coming back and not knowing what the red skulls meant. And then somebody was like, oh yeah, there's like 3 different waves. You get like, first wave, you kill a boss, second wave. And now it's just like part of the game.
It's weird to think about it before though. Like that first boss that you fight like in the first wave it's almost
the normal
like
boss.
Yeah, that's what
it used to be.
Was before. That was the final boss.
Yep. I don't know about the health bar. I'm pretty sure I mean, but I don't think they ever slammed, right? They never slammed, did they?
No. I think it was about that because you could take one out with like a just a normal barrel.
God, I cannot remember. It's been so long for that, but yeah, no, they were just the normal skellies. It's the normal skellies, and then now they have the Ashen ones too, and then the boss, which I like that improvement. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Overall, I'm excited for Ashen wins because I like content, but I don't know if something in Devil's Roar always makes me worried because I'm still scarred from the Crew of Rage when we had to do that. Crew of Rage was when we only had 1 fort, correct?
Yeah, that was when it was just the one in the Devil's Roar.
One in the
just-
Devil's Roar. That was it. And I
you
just
can still get the chest from that one if you go to that fort for that when it's up there. The chest is still in there.
listen. I found a chest of rage randomly in barrels once, and that's as far as I wanted to go to get a chest of rage.
What would you guys want in the in a future update? What would be more appealing to you guys? Would it be something like a new type of skeleton that would be like server wide that could be anywhere? Would it be an event, or would it be like a new island or something like that? What would appeal to you guys the most?
Jay, you go first.
So honestly, I thought something like this past month would have been perfect, especially for the newer players, because it's just like it doesn't seem that difficult for me, and it gives a ton of loot, and that means there's going to be a lot of players that don't have to put in as much work and give me more to steal from, right? And that's and then I didn't see that, so I mean, I was surprised by just not seeing anyone do this event for sure. So I don't know exactly what I'm looking for in the future. I do like pretty much anything they put in this game though, so I can't really complain.
So what I would look for, like I would say I would want a new event, which they're bringing, but I think overall I would love to see a new area of the map. Overall, now granted, it makes me nervous because like if we add a new area, please tell me that means we're also adding another boat, like another boat to a server.
Yeah.
Because if the map gets any bigger, then it's gonna make the servers feel even more quiet. So if they add a new area, can their servers handle another boat being added? So like I wouldn't mind a larger map, so a new section, or like they maybe got rid of Devil's Roar altogether and wanted to make it ice because everybody keeps saying that. I would love to see a new area, so some new islands to explore, some new just areas just in general, some for like the eye. But I just think overall, I world events are cool. I think there's only been like I don't know anybody that really likes to do the Kraken. It's very rare to see people either doing fleets or forts. It's way more common to see forts.
Yeah.
Way more common to see forts. But fleets, it's very rare. Occasionally you do. The Flameheart, I mean, once or twice a week, I'll see a boat attempt to do it. And if we fight them for it, they usually leave. And like that's also very disheartening. So I don't know if I necessarily would want them to add another event because they add an event, which they are bringing one, right? Like they're bringing one. But just because they add an event does not mean people are going to do it. And it gets disheartening after a while. Like if you're the only person doing this event, at least in the servers that you're in.
Yeah.
So I want a new area of the map, either a new area of the map or take over an area and make it different, like evolve the map as like kind of like Fortnite, how Fortnite does. Like the map is always changing, the environment's always changing. You know, like I used to play Fortnite before the meteor even struck, and I thought it was such a cool way to like change the environment. It's still the same environment, but now there's like alien life kind of thing, like superhero stuff. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like if that would be kind of cool if like something was happening in the sky, or you know, I mean, now granted there is lore going on in the game, but like have the map change. I would love to see a change in the game, over like map wise first and foremost. But it's
What
tough.
about you, Tech?
Tough. What are you saying?
What about you, Tech? What would you like to see changed or in a future update?
Oh man, I'm trying to think what could help like the majority of everybody's issue, like being afraid of the encounters and also like people needing more content or something that's going to be more appealing. I was thinking it would be cool to have some type of a different weird skeleton you had to fight that had some type of an ability, but you know that could maybe come along with a bigger type of a change. I'm not sure. I'm kind of backtracking on that. So I would say possibly a new island or a new section. I think that would be kind of cool. Like, just not necessarily revamp the whole thing, but maybe add some other type of way to, I don't know, not necessarily get around, but maybe it's just a new area to discover, like what Z was saying.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
I do like.
Yeah. Hold on. So Kat says, I mean, the map has changed. Reaper's Hideout, though, the change was minor. Same with For the Dam. That's not like those islands were there already, and they made them. Reaper's wasn't.
Yeah.
Reaper's. Well, I thought Reaper's was an unmarked island, and then it evolved into something.
They had to change the island itself quite a bit in order to make it what it is now. I mean, same with the Fort of the Dam, right? I mean, it was a fort, but it
was Old Boot Fort, and then now it's Fort of the Dam. Like, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they did change. They made Reaper, and then they made the Fort of the Dam. But in my mind, those things were already there. Like, I was already fighting Old Boot Fort and hated Old Boot Fort before it was Fort of the Dam. In my mind, I'm thinking like a new Shore of Plenty or a new, Ancient Isles. Like, I want to see a new section of the map. That's kind of where I'm going with that.
Yeah, like an island or a few set islands,
rise like up. A new chain of islands, yeah.
And then maybe you have like a tunnel system you can go through, as well as discovering the new top portion or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the idea of them introducing more things that are lore based, so that there's more of a reason for people to get interested in the lore rather than just seeing the games changed and not really caring. And because over the years I've noticed, or I've been talking to people, especially like Kat, who's in chat, about how much lore is in the game, and there's a lot, but they don't give you much of a reason to go explore it unless you're just curious.
Exploring, yeah. Like, I wouldn't even know where to look for lore, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna, like, when I first started playing Sea of Thieves, I didn't even know there was lore. Like, I just came in and I thought that was just what the game was about. Like, I just thought it was like being a pirate. There's skellies here and there's forts and stuff. Like, I didn't know there was actual lore. Like, Destiny, when I first like really got into like the streaming realm, Destiny, put you into the lore. Like, you like started doing a story and like doing all this stuff. Like, I know the Tall Tales kind of do that, but like for me, I just, as somebody that when I first started the game, I didn't realize that was there to even begin with. I thought it was literally just like any other game. Like, you load in and this is how the game is played. Like, this is just how we made the game, so play it this way. I didn't realize, like, oh, well, there's a hidden area inside of Wanderers that you can check out, and there's some lore in there. Had no clue. No clue.
And that's been there for so long. I just want them to do something with it. It's just, I used to go in there every update being like, did they add something?
Yeah.
Is there more? Is this going to change the game and everything I know about Wanderers?
Yeah. I don't know. I know this game is more of like you just kind of load in and play. But it would be kind of cool. Like, I don't know with the Tall Tales, that's kind of the way that they do the story. But those, I think it took, when did they introduce those? It took like a year, at least from when I started playing, to have those even introduced. Yeah. So, like, now granted, you do those and now you can really get into the lore, but I also find them very boring. Yeah. So that was last September. I can't remember. Like a year and a half? No.
I didn't pay as much attention than I should when I was going through all of the Tall Tales, just because when I saw immediately that to get like the best thing, 5 times. So I was more focused on getting them done as fast as I can, like trying to find the best method to complete them quick, because I knew it was already going to take an insane amount of time.
Yeah, that's how I was. Literally was just like, okay, we finish it. We got to go back to this island. We already know where the other 3 islands we need to go to get it done. Now, is that checkpoint thing still working? Do we know?
Yeah,
it is still working.
I think when there's like a story mode where you can get accomplishments at the very most, but at the very least just getting into the game, I think that I think that's a big part of what I've been noticing. I like what you said, Z, the Destiny thing, where you get that story and you go through these things and you get like these cut scenes that kind of give you an idea, and you want to know more, you want to get to that next step. But when it comes to asking somebody in chat to come throw you a checkpoint so you can get this stupid thing over with, that that kind of takes away, in my opinion. Not that it's wrong, but I feel like, you know,
No, I agree. I get you.
There may always be, that small group of people that just want to fly through it. I think there's like a Twitch channel that it's just, they fly through all sorts of games just to fly through it. But that the story is appealing to me more and more, I guess. That's what I try to get at.
I guess for me, when I started doing the Tall Tales, I would also say, like, I didn't necessarily know that it was about lore. I thought these were just missions. Because again, I played for a year basically before these were introduced, and I thought these were just missions that we had to do, like kind of like, here, do this mission, you'll get this thing. I didn't realize it was kind of explaining some of the lore, which I mean, now it makes sense, but back when it first dropped, I didn't know. Like, I was just like, okay, well, that's cool. A spyglass that I can look up into the stars. Like, that's cool, but I didn't know that was part of the lore. Like, I had no clue.
Yeah.
The first run of the Tall Tales we took serious in our time, but after that we flew through them. Yeah, but I'll be honest, I probably didn't pay attention very well. Like, I still, like, as somebody that really likes the PvP in this game and the PvE in this game, usually I want to try to get through everything as fast as possible so I can maybe find a ship. Like, that's usually what happens in Sea of Thieves for me. It just sucks. Because I do like the PvEs in this game too, but no, the lore is interesting. Yep. So chat, if you guys have any questions, you guys want to bring up to us, or maybe a discussion point you guys want us to talk about, please throw them in the Discord. We have a Tavern Talk questions section. So Kat threw something in, a screenshot. Actually, I did see this. I saw this today, actually. Literally today. And it was, there's a limited time event happening. I saw August 4th. Yep. So we're watch out for a special event coming on August 4th. We're celebrating a rare milestone and offering a shiny exclusive reward. And and the only thing it shows you, is a figurehead. And it looks like an eagle or like maybe a griffin holding a shield, and its eyes are glowing and all this stuff. So I'm assuming some cosmetics are coming for this exclusive event coming August 4th, which is cool.
What's on that shield? X5.
Here, chat. Let me get you guys an image here. Let me open this. Let me get you guys this image. So this is what we're looking at. If you guys haven't seen it already, you're gonna lose Jay and Tech for a second.
No.
You're welcome.
There we go. So this is what we're talking about. So limited time event drops August 4th. They don't say what the limited time event is. You know what's funny? Any Destiny players out there, it reminds me of Saint 14. It's got like Roman numerals.
So I can't see what's in front of that first X. It almost looks like it's a couple other X's.
Yeah, I can't tell.
My first thought with the XV15 is that they just hit 15 million players. But if that's other letters before it, not just like
what is hold on. What is 15?
The 15 million players?
Well, hold on. What's the number, like what's the Roman numeral for 15?
Oh, it's not XV, is it? Because wait. Is that XV isn't one, right?
Hold on.
Does that just be 5?
Yeah, it's XV. Yeah, that's XV. It is XV. So so that has something to do with their 15 million for sure.
But unless it's 2 X's before it, then I don't know, because we're kind of only seeing half the shield. I can't tell what's on the other half.
Maybe a couple like
No, Fly says it's XIV. XIV is 14.
if the smaller number is in front of the bigger number, that means you're adding. If it's a smaller number is behind the bigger number, you're subtracting.
That's why I was like XV would be 5, right? Which doesn't make sense because it's just V.
VX would be 5 because the smaller number would be
Oh, 4. Okay, yeah. Roman numerals, backwards and forwards. I don't know.
Yeah. So Sea of Thieves has reached, since their debut, Sea of Thieves has reached 15 million players since the debut. So, I mean, honestly, that's a good guess. That has something to do with their 15 million for sure. I mean, their limited time event to me typically is like sign on for through this day and this day to get this exclusive reward.
Yeah.
So like, is it going to be an actual event? Because it says time limited event or events.
I would love for them to do something like specifically Fortnite. I think made the most popular, where just across all servers, there's something that just happens at a specific time. Like it doesn't matter what else you're doing. It doesn't happen more than once.
Yeah.
It just happens at that time on all servers.
Yep.
That'd be so cool.
No, I would love that. I would love that. Don't get me wrong, Rare. I love everything about your game. But I do find sometimes the creativity is like, I feel like they're holding themselves back a little bit sometimes. Like, again, with this event, don't get me wrong. I don't know the extent in which how hard it is to make it. But the idea that the boats go in a circle drives me nuts. Like, that's all they do. Just go in a circle. But then you have to think about the solo player doing the sloop. And I mean, it's hard. I can only imagine. But I
just thought of something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. No, I'm just
yeah, my brain's working. You better watch out. How would it be? Like, just imagine you're in a dead server, or on the other hand, you're a newbie. You're freaking out. You don't want to be in this PvE battle. You throw a ball, or you shoot a cannon or something, and it opens up a portal, and it takes you to another server. And you can find these throughout the map, and you could migrate yourself to another server that has an open spot if you wanted to.
It's like purposefully server switch.
Yeah. I would not mind that at all. To know, like,
you bring all your loot with you and everything, and you just move to a different server.
Oh my god, if we found a server just super dull, like, screw it, let's find one of these portals.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to turn in and switch and have to get all your resources again, or
wait for like the server merge to happen.
Yeah.
That would be, I would like that a lot, actually.
And it would be this big crazy thing that opens up, and it's like
question though. Could people abuse that?
Like use it to run.
So like, we're chasing someone and they literally just go to a portal just to server merge.
It stays open for 10 seconds after you leave.
But what if that server only has one spot?
And then you get sent back to a dock in the same server.
Yeah. I could see. I love that idea though. I would love to be able to have the option to server merge without having to wait or like force people to leave.
But it's something you have to maybe farm, or you have to find it somewhere. Like, it's nothing where you can just pull out of your hat, right?
But then I could also say, like, that's kind of, I mean, it's so sticky, because like, that's kind of like, for example, the tall tale for the Shroudbreaker. Like, people just hold on to it just to be able to run. So like, I could see people getting that, just being able to have the ability to server hop if they were being chased.
Poke the bear and then throw it up and run away.
But I love that idea though. I would love to be able to server hop on demand.
Pretty cool.
What if two players had that? Now we're doing just a bunch of what ifs here.
Yeah.
But if the boat you were chasing also had one and they could close it.
Ooh.
So
For like
you could try and use get open up, but they close it before you get there. So
Yeah, like you could either close a portal or you can open a portal. You only can do it once.
Or even like
Sure.
if the portal.
Are we still playing? Are we still playing Sea of Thieves right now? Is that what is this? Is this like
Is it
Portal?
the,
Is this
Sea
the
of
game
Thieves
Portal? I don't think we're
crossover?
playing. I don't think we're playing Sea of Thieves anymore.
So, but I've always thought in Sea of Thieves they do need to have. I mean, it doesn't need to be visible, but they need to have some type of system to determine whether or not your ship is in conflict with another ship in PvP. Because I think they need to incorporate that in whatever algorithm they have for like Karen spawning on you or a Meg spawning on you. Like I don't think like those PvE events should happen as often if you're already engaged. Maybe not happen entirely, but like less often, you know? And the idea you could use that in that circumstance of a portal of like, yeah, the portal doesn't work if you're engaged in conflict.
I could, yeah, or even like let's say vote down an emissary flag. Like you have to either lose them or fight them to vote down your emissary flag. You can't just shoot over and then have your boat glide by. But I feel like, is it the emissary flag? Oh no, it was the cosmetic crate for the boat where I tried to use it today and we were still moving and it wouldn't let me. So I don't know.
I think if you're moving like at all, it doesn't let you do it.
But does the emissary table let you vote?
Yesterday I think it was. I voted for an emissary while you're still pulling in. So yeah, you can still vote whether or not the ship's moving.
What if they just made it so like you had to be a complete stop, like the cosmetic crate, so people can just like vote off, or your anchor had to be down? I don't know, dude. There's just so many things.
Yeah.
Because this game has so much potential, but there's just like, and this is like all opinion, Chad. This is all opinion. Everybody has different opinions. But I feel like a lot of times, like again, for this event, for the ships, obviously they have to try to figure out how it can be difficult, but still easy enough for a solo player to do it. And this game has a really hard time making like that happen. Like for the dam, you can like you have a galleon, you can power through that quickly. A sloop, that's taking you like 2 hours by yourself. Solo sloop, I mean, depending, right? I mean, maybe you could do a little bit faster, but solo slooping a Fort of the Dam is pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'd rather do a Flameheart any day, solo. I don't know. I want new content. It's coming soon. We'll have it. I hate the fact that it's probably in Devil's Roar. Not excited about that. But so chat, you guys have any questions that you would like to ask us? Again, if you guys have any questions, we have a Tavern Talk section in the Discord. If you guys have any topics you want us to talk about, anything you guys want us to talk about, you want to talk about, just let us know. You can even type it in chat if you'd like. But again, thank you guys for watching so far. I appreciate everybody chilling. Again, if you guys have not watched episode 1 or 2 of Tavern Talk, make sure you guys do command latest. You'll be able to see it. Girl says 4 different achievements could be 4 different regions. Maybe. How many regions are in this game? Shores of Plenty? No. Yeah, Shores of Plenty, Ancient Isles, Wilds, and Devil's Roar.
Yeah, there's 4.
There's 4.
Well, and Shores of Gold, but that's one island.
Yeah, Shores of Gold. That's only meant for like really a tall tale, though.
Right.
I mean, it could be.
I can't believe they haven't used that for something else. That's a massive island.
Massive island. Yep.
There's so much potential for that island. It's a beautiful island.
No, it is. It's a wasted space. It's a wasted space. I mean, it's the whole corner of the map too. Like
they can't get rid of it, right? Unless they get rid of the tall tale, which is the end of the
story. Yeah,
the stories that lead up to that corner of the map.
I don't know. No, it's true. It's wasted. And like, if you look at the map, it's like literally the top right corner, and it's an entire red zone. So like, you have this island that is specifically meant for a tall tale, or running. That's what that corner of the map is for. Cool though. It is a beautiful island. I actually haven't. I think the last time I was at the Shores of Gold was with Akup when somebody was stream sniping him for that fort. I think it was Fort of the Damn Loot or something. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have the key. It's on the front of the boat." And it's like up in the crow's nest, like underneath. Like he's not really saying where's that. I'm like, "Oh, dude, okay. I don't see it. I don't see it on the front of the boat." And he's like, "It's not there." So Pack says, any thoughts on being able to upgrade ships without leaving the server? I always run into duos that would invite me on board. I wouldn't mind that.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Like, I think that at best you'd have to get rid of your boat, right?
Like scuttle?
Yeah, like you can't have your boat transform into a different boat in any sense. Your boat would have to sink and a new one would have to spawn.
Right. You'd have to be in an outpost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being able to like change ships for sure. Or and then also too, you have that I guess you'd have to also have the room in the server to be able to do that. Now, granted, I don't know if I've ever seen like a completely packed server without enough room for going from a sloop to a galley or something, but that's also a thing. Like, if you were able to do that, then you'd have to like, okay, well, you can't do it here. Unfortunately, servers to at capacity or something like that. They need to let us pay to have a custom name on our ship on the server. I thought, you know what? I think that was actually brought up during our talk with John, and I think that still potentially could be a thing. Naming your boat.
They've had the empty nameplate on the galleon since the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'd be cool too if you didn't want to turn, like, for example, like us with hoarding all this loot. If we, sink an emissary ship, I want to be able to fly that flag on the back of my boat to tell other players, listen, I've already sunk 3 other emissaries. Like, don't F with me. Or come F with me, kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, have a spot for the flag, because like, let's say for example, if you look at the back of the boats where you put the emissary flag already, there's already a flag holder, whereas our flag goes. What if they just added let's just say 4 more, and you could hold up to 4 emissary flags in the back of your boat? I think that'd be cool too.
The mechanic doesn't seem too hard to implement too, so I think if enough people say it, that might be able to happen.
Imagine stealing 5. Well, I guess, but you couldn't put your own up there because that'd be stupid, because people would just get to rank 5 and then drop their own. Like, you can only put other ones that you stole. Imagine having like 5 like rank 5 emissary flags hanging off the back of your boat.
All I want to do is name my boat the Lady Frankie.
Dude, Lady Frankie, it's a good name.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't have to pay for that. That should be something like you just go into your cosmetic crate and be able to be like, oh, I named my boat Lady Frankie.
Custom flags could be cool, but I mean, people would make some stupid shit.
Yeah, anything custom you got to be careful with. Custom flags, like I remember in Black Ops, you could create, I think you could still create after that too, but you could create custom like gamer tag things, like the the emblems next to your name. Oh man. Yeah. I never made something like racist or anything like that, but I would have like the guy looking like he's taking a poop, and it'd be like a pile of poop, and it'd be like, that's you, or like it'd be like you underneath it or something like that. It was stupid, dude. I was that guy. Or I made the monster logo. I remember doing that stuff. But yeah, I could see with custom flags equaling people behind keyboards being safe.
Yeah.
And then people already go ahead.
They should at least have a flag for all of the partners that they have. Like the logo.
That would be cool. That would be cool. And that would be relatively easy for them, I feel like. Just get their logo and throw it on a flag. Now, that would be cool. That would be cool for a lot of the partners, too, to be able to see their flag in game. I think it's cool, too, that a lot of the partners are inside the journals, in some of the journals.
Oh yeah.
I think that's cool. Being put into a game you play would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Jay, I gotta figure out what we need to do to get a journal for this ghost hunting shit, dude. I'm gonna figure it out.
I mean, we tried with the chests of rage, and I would never want to see one of those chests ever again.
I never want to see Short of Gold again.
If they put your name on the chest of rage,
I don't know if I would take that a compliment. Are they trying to tell me I rage a lot, dude? I think
the chest of sorrows. It's gonna be Jor.
Oh my god.
Jor, dude, not even here to defend himself. Not even here. He's sleeping like a little baby right now.
They're gonna put an owl into this game.
Yeah. Oh my god, an owl. Honestly, though, that would be a cool pet if they did add an owl. But we already have one, Jay, so we're good.
They all have to be named Jor. There's no changing name.
Jor, dude. Jor is the only name for an owl. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I feel like we've discussed it, Chef. We've custom flags. Custom flags would be a bad idea. If there was, they'd have to like specifically set up a team. When you enter in a flag, you'd have to like get approved. Remove one, sure. There was something we were talking about though, and I'm not gonna remember what it was because Jor comment made me laugh.
You did something with customizing your boat or something like that.
I think it had to do with the partner stuff, but I don't know if I was gonna add anything to the fact of like making a flag. That'd be cool. Oh, the journals. I was talking about dude, we should have a journal where the 4 islands or whatever that Flameheart spawns on, there should be a journal of each time, how many times we beat them on those islands. Because I'll tell you what, dude, I have, and we've never had a freaking Athena's down. I'd have my 1,000 miles easy.
Oh yeah,
going from Kraken's Fall to Devil's Ridge to Lone Cove to Sailor's Bounty, to Old Faithful. Does it go around Old Faithful?
Yeah.
Old Faithful. Yeah. Snake Island. Does it go around Crooks? It doesn't go around Crooks, does it? No.
Not Crooks. Kraken's Fall.
Snake Island. Devil's Ridge. I think that's everything. And then it's
not Plunder Valley. Right?
Cannon Cove? No, Wanderers. It goes around Wanderers.
Yeah.
Goes around a lot of islands. So I want every island rare. I want a journal entry. Okay. They've defeated the Ghost Fleet 300 times here. Because that's what it feels like.
It's going to be like a Flameheart memorial area that's just going to be like, I said every time I would remember you, but I never did.
Forget your name every time, dude. I'll remember this. No, trust me, you don't. You don't remember us every time.
Except for Robin Hook.
Robin Hook, dude. I like that. I like that nickname. I don't know who came up with it, but I like that nickname a lot, actually. That's a fun nickname.
He's about to start a new channel over here.
I'm taking the URL right now. Guys, again? No, go ahead, Tech.
Did we ever talk about get like an event that could like everybody could try to accomplish, and if they accomplish it X amount of times, or if they get the most amount of gold or whatever, then they could have like a something like Fortnite did for Booga when he won the event. I think they put something like where he dropped in the World Cup or whatever, his drop zone, they put a plaque there with his trophy and put his name on it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just like a one-time
I think
thing.
they do really so. From like playing Destiny, where like it's very community based, and playing Sea of Thieves, where it's very community based. In Destiny, I don't know if they've ever done like some sort of like community based plaque inside the game. I just don't know, maybe. But Sea of Thieves, they have like, they put journals out for Kada and team, even though it was like Kada and like Foxeye and a few other people. And, I think Nettie has one.
I mean, they did a whole month of a whole update updates worth of like, hey, go check out like all 30 of these things we put in the game.
Yeah.
Representing different things. Not necessarily just content creators, but alpha players and
I mean, they have inside the ferry, they have the first guy that died in the ferry.
That's really cool.
You know, like he probably doesn't even realize that anymore. And if he does, like that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I think like because I know a lot of people like in Destiny, they do world's first, like world's first to do this event or like world's first to do the raid. I think it'd be kind of cool, like if they did. And now, granted, their events aren't like crazy raid, challenging, like 26 hours to complete. But it would be kind of cool, like servers launch and everybody rushes to do the event, and first team or first person or whatever that completes the event, gets some sort of acknowledgement. Like even if it is like a name on the island in which they killed them. Like if it was like some sort of like, rest in peace, like tombstone, and it has like, I don't know, just like the names. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool.
I mean, and with the lore that they have in the game, like they could totally incorporate that. Of you, in order to be that world's first, you're gonna have to know the lore. Like you're not gonna understand hints or even know where to go look if you don't understand the lore.
Yeah. Because Fly, they do that. They have like a lot of like, again, they have the first person who ever played Sea of Thieves and died and visited the ferry. His name is in the ferry, or her name is in the ferry. So I think that's cool. Something they could do too, like just like the Destiny stuff, like for world's first raid team, this 6-man fire team, Sea of Thieves. World's first Flameheart event completed by this crew. I think that'd be kind of cool, even if it was just like being tweeted out. Like I don't know, that'd be kind of cool because Bungie does that. And I actually don't know anymore because I'm like kind of out of the loop on how many what the player base is for Destiny. But I feel like the player base for Destiny is bigger than Sea of Thieves. I think.
It would make sense to me.
No clue.
I don't know about this past. I don't know about June. I think June had Sea of Thieves was bigger.
It might have. 3.3 million active players is a lot of players for a month.
That's true.
So, guys, again, if you have any questions for us, make sure you guys use the Discord, the Tavern Talk question section. I'll pull them in and kind of read them off. If you guys have any questions for us or topics you guys would like to ask us or talk about, we would be more than happy to. I think more or less we kind of talked about everything. We kind of did a summary on the Ghost Fleets, Flameheart, talked about Sea of Thieves, talked about the new update, Ashen, the Ashen Winds, the Flamethrower, removing wall banging, talking about the brand new encounter, all those things, accessibilities with single stick mode, auto float, and camera flicks to center. So I feel like we talked about a lot. And we still have no clue, unless they tweeted out anything recently. Still have no clue about Ashen Winds.
I think I see Fly typing in a question right now, and no, marbles will only happen on Mondays.
Yes. It's not warbles, okay? This guy, dude. He's only here for the marbles, let's be real.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people recently trying to find a good screenshot for their picture contests, which I'm surprised, Z, you haven't tried to do that as a photographer.
My problem is and it happens with even like with photography, I get frustrated if I can't get it right.
Yeah.
And it becomes not fun if I'm like 1 streaming and like 2 trying to play a game. So after a while I'd probably just get frustrated with what I'm trying to make it look like and then just move on. Like when I'm taking a picture with a camera, like for example, like the King's Coast stuff, like I have full control of like where I want to move it. And then it's like, for example, in Sea of Thieves, I only have like 20 minutes before it gets dark again. This is like, it's like so frustrating. Or like,
Yeah.
okay, all of a sudden, freaking, I don't know, something happens. I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm so particular. So particular. So I get frustrated with that stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I've thought about it, but it's so tough because like I see a shot and I'm like, that's it. And then I take the screenshot and I'm like, that's fucking sucks. That's not what I just took. That's not what I saw. So it's tough, dude. It happens with my photography all the time. Dude, like, no joke. I probably take of a single, like, let's say, for example, the King's Coast can for the Nitro Cold Brew, hashtag ad, hashtag affiliate. If Molly's listening to something, I can hear it over my mic. Did you hear that? It's like, all right, either way. But I would take a picture of a can in the same spot, same lighting. All I would ever do is like try different angles or like move up and down, like closer and farther away. And I'd probably have like 100 pictures of that. And then I'd like, no. And then with Sea of Thieves, I'd get frustrated. I'm like, oh, it's dark again. I have to wait another 20 minutes for the light come back out. It wouldn't be fun.
I do remember you tried to take pictures of the King's Coast can on stream.
Yeah, no,
you had like 20 minutes of you trying to get it perfectly right. No, it's not fun when I'm trying to, like, if I'm trying to do something fun, it's not fun. Like I can't mix photography and trying to stream in game at the same time. You just got to do it until you get the sales, and then you don't have to do it again.
There's sales?
Yeah, that's what you win. If you get, it's not just like a tweet.
Oh, I thought it was like them sharing something. Oh, it's these sun sales, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
They're going to be like one of the most rare things you can own.
Oh, man. What did you do?
I pointed out to a photographer that you could win this.
Oh. Well.
Now it's become a job, Jay. Good job.
Thanks, man. Sorry. All right, chat. We're not going to be loot hoarding tomorrow. We're going to be trying to just take pictures. Oh, you guys are ready. I'm going to be silent the entire time, too. It's really how I do it. Hit reg improvements. So we did discuss that. We talked about when their news talking about hit reg. They have a dedicated team to it. Still an issue. They asked to still send if you guys have issues, if you can take video, place a report on it, things like that to help them out. But I unfortunately think in this game specifically, I will say as of late though, I mean, I still obviously have hit reg issues, but as of late, my hit reg hasn't been too bad. Like I haven't had too many issues with it.
So they must be doing some hot fixes throughout the months, weeks to try to fine tune it.
Right.
Especially if they have a dedicated team for it.
Yeah, it says they have a dedicated team specifically working on hit reg. So like if you guys have hit reg issues, they ask you to send video evidence if possible, because it makes it easier for them to really kind of work on what's happening. Or make a report of it and kind of describe it. Yeah, I mean,
on their website.
Yeah, put it on their website. But overall, I just think no matter what, I think it's going to be an issue. Just the movement of the water and being on a boat that's moving, and players like, and the ping issues, like Jor being at 700 ping. And then, us, let's say, for example, we were fighting him. He's 700 ping. I'm 50 ping. It's going to feel gross in that fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
Everything's client side for whether or not you get the hit marker, right? Like it's not gonna wait 0.7 seconds to show him a hit marker on a sniper shot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how much time it takes for the response to get back to him of whether he hit it or not.
Ugh. Jor, I feel so bad for you, dude. And he does it, every day. Hey, I got an Athena's on my... No, sorry, Jor. Sorry.
No. And he doesn't complain. He gets shit for it.
He does complain. Don't let him fool you. He complains. That he doesn't complain. It's like that subtle complaint. It's like, man, wow, ping's really good today. It's like 50. Do you guys want to know how my ping's at?
My ping's decent. It's at 375.
What? Oh, you're saying that's Jor.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I gotta know. Oh man. All right, boys. Well, chat, thank you guys for watching episode 3. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Episode 3 of Tavern Talk. What?
On the button.
On the button, dude. On the button. If you guys are enjoying it, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe, do the things. Tech, Jay, where can they find you guys?
Jay?
No, Jay Tech, go.
All right, they can find me at twitch.tv/ultimatej or on Twitter at _ultimatej.
Okay, everything for me is TechNerd A is an EH. TechNerd EH.
Okay, chat. Make sure you guys follow these guys. Hit their heart. They're both affiliated. Hit their subscribe button if you got a Twitch Prime. If you don't know what Twitch Prime is, it's your Amazon Prime link to your Twitch account. You can subscribe to the channel for free for 30 days.
Use it on Zach.
No, I'm still working for affiliate. Thank you guys for watching. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys wouldn't mind, let's go host somebody up, chat. Go host somebody up. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up, and then we'll be able to. Don't go anywhere yet. We're gonna host somebody. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Cut, end, and YouTube video. And we're gonna go host somebody up. Is anybody streaming that we recognize that's on right now?
90.
90's on? Oh, yeah. We hosting them, dude, for sure. For sure, Chad, for sure. All right, Chad, we're gonna haha, I got you, Fly. I mean, I guess we could turn them on now, but we're gonna go host up my buddy Nighthawk, chat. I can't believe like how quickly Justin went from not like enjoying Destiny at all to like playing Destiny again.
I mean, you did that too, like 7 months ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't know he was not into it. Seems like I never
it's main
saw
content. My main content. Marbles, this fucking guy, dude. I think Justin has a command. Actually, he has channel points. Somebody has channel points for it.
Oh, Justin has it.
Justin has channel points.
Yeah, I got one ready for him.
Haha! I'm nowhere near. Dang. Okay. Didn't eat a single bean. I didn't even eat a bean yesterday because when we were playing Dead by Daylight, we didn't die, or I didn't die, and the guy let me walk through the trap door and the door, dude. That was fucking awesome. Thanks for the
only
points.
thing that apparently ate a bean was my computer.
That's true. All right, guys, let's go host up. Let's go host up my buddy Nighthawk, chat. Guys, click that link. Show him some love. My computer's gonna freak out. Let's see how